Hello, everyone. I think people are still joining. Anyway, to those who have already joined, welcome to our third technical webinar about open calls of the BlueActionBANOS. I will let everyone to join, so let's wait maybe a minute more, and then we'll start the webinar. Okay, it's 2:02, so I guess we can start. So once again, welcome to our third webinar. My name is Maria Karpilowska. I'm Senior Project Manager at Funding Box Accelerator, and Funding Box Accelerator is the partner at BlueActionBANOS, responsible for open calls management. That's why we have the honor of hosting those technical webinars and giving you more information about the open calls. So what's on the agenda for today? So first, as usually, we want to present to you the context of the BlueActionBANOS project and also Mission Ocean and Waters. Then we'll go through a very quick review of open call mechanics, so how it works, how to apply. Then we'll give you some more information on what happens directly after the open call is closed. We'll talk today about the support program structure, how it's organized, how you will be onboarded, and this kind of information. And we'll also present to you the support available for community-led actions and transition agendas. I mean, those projects who will get selected for funding. We'll also have some time for questions and answers at the end of this webinar. So let's move on to the first point in the agenda, and this will be presented by Sarah Tamulski, Senior Project Manager at Submariner Network, the coordinator of the project. So Sarah, over to you.
Great. Thank you, Maria, and hello, everybody. Thank you for being here today. So as Maria mentioned, my name is Sarah Tamulski. I'm a Senior Project Manager at the Submariner Network and the coordinator of BlueActionBANOS, and I'm coming to you all live from Berlin today. Sorry. Okay, so just first a little bit about our project, BlueActionBANOS. So we are a group made up of 18 partners from 11 countries across the Baltic and North Sea. Our project started last September and it's 4 years long, and we have a budget of 12 million euros. We're funded by the European Union, so it's a Horizon Europe program. And of our 12 million euro budget, we are going to be giving out 9 million euros to third-party funded projects, so to projects like yours, which you will be applying for. And as mentioned before, we are coordinating the project at the Submariner Network. So this here is an image of all of the 18 partners involved in our project. We cover every country in the Baltic and North Sea that is eligible for funding. Many of the organizations you see here are also acting as national contact points within our project, BlueActionBANOS. These national contact points are also points that you can be in contact with, or you can reach out to ask questions in your native language about the calls. I encourage you to check out our website for more information and see specific email addresses if you want to reach out to any one of our partners. So a little bit about BlueActionBANOS and Mission Ocean. So the EU mission Restore Our Ocean and Waters is really the framework for our project, BlueActionBANOS. The EU Mission Ocean and Waters is a large-scale initiative that has the ambition to restore, protect, and preserve the health of our ocean, seas, and inland waters by 2030. So we are going here beyond the marine environment and looking at total water basins, so also inland waters, lakes, and rivers. The EU Mission Ocean Waters has 3 main objectives, which you can see listed on the screen here. So the first is to protect and restore marine freshwater ecosystems and biodiversity. The second is to prevent and eliminate pollution of our oceans, seas, and waters. And the third is to make the sustainable blue economy carbon neutral and circular. These goals are not just important for Mission Ocean and for us, but are also important for your projects, because these are the goals that you will be pursuing within your projects and also the goals which will frame your projects. So as I mentioned, Mission Ocean is setting kind of the framework for our projects and also the funding that we were giving out. And Mission Ocean is also split kind of into 2 phases, and we are currently entering the second phase, which will go now from 2026 to 2030. In the first phase, it was all about testing solutions and doing research and innovation in the blue space, and now we are looking to scale up piloted solutions. So scale up solutions that were identified as effective in the first stage of Mission Ocean, and now implement them or deploy them in new sets, in new contexts, and in new regions. So that's also where your projects come into play here. And ultimately, with our project, we are really looking to mobilize and empower diverse actors in new communities to enter the Mission Ocean landscape and to implement local initiatives. And we want to do this by providing practical and easily accessible support so that you can implement innovative and high impact actions to restore our oceans and waters. So maybe just to give you a little bit of a broader context, we are BlueActionBANOS. BANOS stands for the Baltic and North Sea. So that is the region where our project and the projects we are funding will be implemented, but we also have 3 what we like to call sister projects in other European sea basins. So in the Atlantic Arctic, there's Blue Action AA. In the Danube Black Sea, there's SOS to Learn DBS. And in the Mediterranean, there's Task Restore Med. These projects are also having open calls and are also giving out funding. So if you are interested or from one of those regions, I encourage you to check out their websites and look into their calls as well. And just to wrap it up, as I mentioned, our vision is we are here to provide financing first and foremost, so through community-led actions and transition agenda projects. But on top of that, this is more than just a financing mechanism. It is also a program to provide technical assistance and knowledge sharing to our funded projects and to just actors in general in the Baltic and North Sea region. So Maria will go into that a little bit more in a minute. But we go very much beyond funding, and if you are selected for funding, then you will have access to specific technical assistance to support the implementation of your project. So with that, I will hand it back to Maria to get into kind of the nitty-gritty stuff. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sarah. So with this context, we can proceed further. So in this part, I would like to very quickly go once again through open call mechanics. I will say in a minute why. So within 2 previous webinars, we've covered the basics. So during the webinar 1, we gave general information about the open call, so what community-led actions are, what transition agendas are, and how to apply. During the second webinar, we talked about eligibility, how to perform self-assessment, whether you are an eligible entity. We also discussed the selection and independent evaluation processes. And today, we would like to tell you more what happens after the open call is closed. So both previous webinars can be found through our project website. So if you go to BlueActionBANOS, in the top menu, you'll find the resources section, and you'll find all the videos there, also through our YouTube channel. And this video is also recorded and we'll also upload it to our YouTube channel just for reference. So as a quick reminder, we have two programs available to support programs available under BlueActionBANOS. And this is why we are having now two open calls for community-led actions and transition agendas. So these are two different support programs for different activities. So community-led actions are actually implementation projects run by groups of stakeholders. Those groups will be area-based or interest-based, of course, within BANOS countries. Here we are expecting submissions from consortia of between 2 to 12 entities, and the funding a project can get, the maximum funding here is 2 million euro per one community-led action and up to 500,000 euro per one entity. And transition agendas, here we are looking for projects which would like to focus on developing some strategic agendas, roadmaps for sustainable shifts. And those shifts, of course, must target mission, ocean, and water objectives within the BANOS area as well. And here we expect applications from individual entities or small consortia of up to 3 entities. The funding available is up to 100,000 euro per one transition agenda and up to 60,000 euro per one entity. So just a very quick review. And of course, the basic rules are that goals of the project, no matter whether this is community-led action or transition agenda, they must be aligned with mission, ocean, and waters objectives. As you already know from Sarah, applicants must be established in one of the countries within Baltic or North Sea, and proposals must concern action, so they must be implemented and their impact must be within the BANOS area as well. So these are the basic rules. And now a very quick revision of this application process and how our open call mechanics work. So we have two steps within the process. Step 1 is obligatory, but it's not evaluated in any way. This is a means of support to applicants. Step 2, this is where you submit full proposal. So step 1 is the submission of project idea form and a short consultation with our experts. So that's why I wanted to go very quickly through this open call mechanics, because the deadline for project idea form submission is approaching. So the deadline is 16th of March at 5 p.m. Brussels time. And this is very important for all of you who are thinking about submitting a full proposal, because if you don't submit a project idea form and if you don't go through the consultations, you will not have a chance to prepare a full proposal, and only full proposals will go to the evaluation. That's why we cannot underline and highlight enough how important this deadline of 16th of March is at the moment. So if you are interested and you haven't started the project idea form yet, please do so, because we have just over a month left for this. Also, just to encourage you to submit this project idea form, this form is not long, it's quite short, and it is what the name says. We ask for your idea, so it doesn't have to be you know, the final, let's say, idea in the final shape, final structure, and so on. We ask for your idea. We ask for what you'd like to achieve within the project. Maybe you have an idea of the partners you'd like to apply with. So we just ask for some basic information so we can carry out a consultation and support you within this period of application, right? So this is the goal. So hopefully this would not take too much of your effort and too much of your time, but it's definitely a step that will allow you to access later on the full proposal. And moving on, so you already know that we have this two-step process. Full proposal deadline for submitting the full proposal, maybe I show the previous slide still, is the 29th of May at 14 Brussels time. And the question is, what happens next? Because we communicate that we have this deadline at the end of May, and then the support programs for the selected projects will probably start around November. So what happens between the end of May and November? There are quite a lot of steps that each application will go through. So first of all, the open call closes. What happens next is that we look at all submissions, all submitted full proposals, and we carry out an admissibility and eligibility check. What does it mean? It means that we look at those basic admissibility and eligibility criteria, like when the country, where an applicant, in which country an applicant is registered, in which community they are operating. Does the project contribute to mission, ocean and water's objectives, and so on and so forth. So we look at the information you include in the full proposal. We also look at the statements you include in your full proposal, and we just check if based on this information you submitted, an application is admissible and eligible or not. If it's admissible and eligible, then this application goes to the independent evaluation stage, right? So all the admissible and eligible proposals, they go to the independent evaluation stage. And as you may know from the previous webinar, if you participated, if not, each proposal will be evaluated by 2 experts. We have this dual system where one expert is independent, totally independent from BlueActionBANOS consortium, but of course is an expert. And the second expert is from within BlueActionBANOS consortium. Also, one expert has expertise in the topic connected with your proposal, and the other expert is familiar with the area where you are planning to implement your action or transition agenda. So after this independent evaluation, we'll have 2 results. We'll have a pool of proposals that will be evaluated above the threshold, and we'll have a pool of proposals that will be evaluated below the threshold. And by threshold, we mean the threshold per each of the evaluation criterion, and also the total thresholds per proposal. We explained that in detail in the second webinar. So those proposals that will be evaluated below the threshold, for them, unfortunately, this will be the end of the journey at this stage. For those who are above the threshold, the process continues. We may implement jury days for community-led actions who are above the threshold. Jury days are like pitching sessions. So we ask each project to prepare a pitch and to present this project in front of BlueActionBANOS partners, and then BlueActionBANOS partners will have a chance to ask you some questions. This step is optional, so we'll be deciding whether we implement it at a later stage when we know how many proposals above the threshold we have after the independent evaluation stage. All proposals that go through the jury days, if this step is implemented, will be considered at a consensus meeting. Consensus meeting is like a meeting of the selection committee of BlueActionBANOS. Selection committee is like the body that takes the final decision which projects will be funded. This decision is, of course, very much based on the results of the independent evaluation, so the ranking after the independent evaluation. If there are jury days, it is also based on the results of the jury days, and this way the selection committee can take an informed decision about which projects will be funded. After consensus meeting, all the projects that are invited to the support program will need to go through formal check. So formal check is the moment in all this selection process where we once again check your eligibility, but this time this is not based on the information you include in the proposal. It's based on the documents you provide. So it's like a separate process where we ask for more information, this time to do with the legal status of the applying entities. We'll ask for some documents, and based on that, again, we are able to take a decision if an entity is eligible or not. So all the projects that successfully go through the formal check will be invited to sign the sub-grant agreement, SGA for short. The sub-grant agreement is the agreement between the BlueActionBANOS consortium and selected projects. So this is the moment, the SGA signature, when you officially become beneficiaries of BlueActionBANOS support program, and the implementation of your project can start. So it's also a moment from which all the costs that you incur are eligible, become eligible, right? So right now, I would like to move on to this moment when you sign SGA and what happens next, how we are going to organize the beginning of the support program for you, how we are going to be onboarded, and what will be your first steps within the support program at the very beginning. So you sign the SGA, you become the beneficiary, right? The support program starts, but how is it going to start? So first of all, we are going to carry out a needs assessment for each of the projects just to get an idea of what kind of technical support, knowledge, support you may need for your specific project. So what the specific needs of each project are. So this is the first thing. And we are going to organize an online kickoff meeting separately for community-led actions and transition agendas. So the kickoff meeting is like the welcome event for all selected projects where we welcome you to the program. We present the scope and timeline of the support program, what the expected outcomes are, how we are going to support you in terms of financial support and non-financial support. We are definitely going to tell you about a very important document that you will focus on at the beginning of your support program, which is individual integrated project plan. We are going also to go through the budget, rules for payments, and yeah. So basically, this is a welcome meeting where you get onboarded into what is going to happen for you, what it is going to involve, how we are going to be involved in it, right? So for each of those two support programs, community-led actions and transitional agendas, we've got some key stages. Each support program is divided into 3 stages, and the third stage is exactly the same for all for both projects. And the first stage is focused on preparing your individual integrated project plan. For this stage, you will have up to 2 months, right? And the product of this stage is the completed individual integrated project plan for each project. This document is very important. I'll say a few words more about it later on. The second stage is also similar. It's like a midterm check, midterm review. At midterm review, you will need to submit a midterm report, and then the final stage, final review for community-led actions. It will be final report where you will show how you implemented your action, and for transition agendas, it's also transition agenda implementation report. So right now, a few more words about this individual integrated project plan and why it is so important, why it is like a crucial document. So first of all, this is milestone 1 deliverable. And as you already know, it will have to be submitted by the end of month 2 of the support program. This project plan is a binding document, reference document that will guide the further implementation of your projects within the support program. What does it contain? It contains the formulation of the KPIs, acceptance criteria, means of verification, but you are the ones who need to think about how to formulate it, what you want to achieve, what is realistic for you, and what is specific for your project and for your project needs, right? So we don't have like one measure for all. We know that each project will be different. Each community-led action will be different. You'll be focusing on maybe different topics. Each transition agenda will also be different. That's why there's no one measure for all. And this individual integrated project plan is like the manifestation of the specificity of your projects, what you want to achieve, what your goals are, how you want to achieve them, all right? And how we will know that those goals have been achieved and how we can verify that, right? This individual integrated project plan will also contain your individual technical assistance plan based on the results of this needs assessment that I mentioned earlier. And also individual integrated project plan contains like a specification, a detailed specification of your budget estimate. In the full proposal, we ask you to provide an estimate of the budget for your action or transition agenda. So like a breakdown per cost categories and a general breakdown per partner. When the support program starts and you start defining your individual integrated project plan, we'll ask you to like think a bit more in detail about your budget and again about how you break down the budget per cost categories and also per partner. Also, individual integrated project plan is necessary to receive the first payment. So as you can see from this slide, I hope that I managed to explain it well. This will be a key document in the support program. Now, how are we going to support you? What's available, what's on offer for community-led actions and transition agendas? So first of all, it's the financial support. So it's the grant. The grant will be paid as a lump sum in installments. So those are 3 installments that correspond to 3 stages of the program. What does it mean that we'll pay it as a lump sum? It means that we are not going to focus on how you financially manage the project. We are not going to focus on financial documentation. We are going to focus on how your project performs within the support program. And also, lump sum means that the budget you provide in the full proposal and later on you detail in the individual integration project plan, it's like the best approximation of your actual costs that you can think of, right? So it's an approximation of your actual costs, but it's still an estimate. And once this estimate, this approximation of actual costs is approved through your individual integrated project plan, we treat it as the budget, right? And we pay against the deliverables after approval and validation of each deliverable for each stage, but according to this budget estimate, the approximation of your actual costs, right? So once again, in the lump sum methodology, what we need to issue the payments to the support project are documents that confirm that your work was done as it was established and detailed in the individual integrated project plan, right? So once again, you have a reference to this key document, right? Whatever you put in this document at the beginning, it will be later on the reference for checking whether this was done, right? So for payments, we need technical documents, reports showing that a portion of work was done, was performed, some deliverables, maybe who did what, which partner was responsible for which portion of the tasks planned, right? What we will not need from you will be, detailed timesheets, pay slips, invoices, specification of actual costs. Of course, we always encourage supported projects to keep this in your records for some period of time after the project ends. This will be included, this provision will be included in the subgrant agreement as well, because we can always expect some controls, checks, audits from EC bodies. And in that case, we will reach out to you. We may reach out to you to check something, but we will not need those documents from you during the support program in order to make payments. This we will definitely not need. We will be focusing on project performance proved through the deliverables you submit after each stage. The second kind of support that will be available for you if your projects are selected will be non-financial support. And here, what is going to be available? Technical assistance. So it's like ongoing support throughout the whole support program. Based on this individual technical assistance plan, based on the results of the needs analysis. And just like we have this key document, individual integrated project plan, it's like a key document in the support program. We also have a key person, and this key person will be your project key accounts. So each project will have their project key account. And this is like your guardian angel throughout the support program. So this will be your primary point of contact. They will ensure that, first of all, they will support you in building the individual integrated project plan, right? They will support you in this task. We understand this task is not easy. It's not straightforward. You will get support with that. They will also ensure that whatever you put in this plan is followed and executed. They will be your troubleshooting assistants. Also, if you have any specific technical needs, project key accounts will be responsible for finding and putting you in touch with experts who will be able to support you. and they will also assess your performance. So whenever you submit a deliverable, they will be the closest to your project, right? They will be the closest to the execution of your project. So they will be best equipped to assess how you perform during the support program, right? And then they will issue like recommendations to the selection committee, again, to approve and validate the deliverables and the resulting payments. Also, within this technical assistance, we'll have available online consultations with technical experts, again, based on your specific needs. And another thing that we have on offer is knowledge transfer. So those knowledge transfer is an activity where we look into the lessons learned based on your community-led actions and transition agendas. We kind of put together like information packages based on those lessons learned, and also see how they can be used beyond the project duration. We'll offer some feedback consultations as well. So this is another way we'll support you throughout the projects. And also in this slide, you can see like a general overview of the whole ecosystem support within BlueActionBANOS. So as you can see, the key in the right upper hand corner of this slide, the key person is the project key account who will overview the whole support scheme. You'll have access to technical experts, knowledge platforms, topical clusters, national clusters, individual experts. Also, as Sarah has mentioned at the very beginning, we have 3 other sister projects. So if there is any knowledge sharing we will need or any matchmaking, we can always reach out to our sister projects and connect you with some other partners or entities if needed, right? So I think this is the last slide I wanted to present about the support. So just to summarize, we have financial support, a whole, let's say, catalog of activities which count as non-financial support, with the key person being project key account, like your, let's say, guardian and mentor throughout the support program. And if you have any questions that we could answer at the moment right now, please feel free to type them in the chat, or you can raise your hand and ask directly, whatever you prefer.
Yes, so far we don't have any questions in the Q&A or in the chat, actually, except for one, but I think that Franny will be into it, but maybe you can already give a feedback on this. Will we have a say when it comes to being assigned a PKA or a technical expert?
I think, will you have a say? Well, for sure, we will look at the results of your needs assessment and will definitely suggest to you a PKA, so project key account, that will suit your needs, right? Of course, will be as flexible as possible. So there is always room for, for discussing things. So in this regard, I think you'll have a say in it. We are still working on the details of, how the support program will work. But yes, first of all, we'll look at your needs. We'll look at the profiles of experts we have available within the consortium. We'll try to make the best match possible. If something doesn't work, of course, we will look into it. And as for technical experts, we'll also look at your specific needs, the topic, and we'll try to find an expert that will be able to address those needs, those requirements.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes, so before this question about, yes, indeed, the presentation will be made available on the BlueActionBANOS website, as are all of the previous webinars that Maria was mentioning. We also got a question from Casper Hilden, whether it is possible to apply for both of the programs.
All right, so here we have two rules also included in the terms and conditions and frequently asked questions document. So the two rules are that an entity cannot participate in more than one program. And the second rule is that you can receive grant from BlueActionBANOS only once. So what does it mean in practice? We have two scenarios. We have two scenarios here, but the question is about two different programs, right? So you may apply to two different programs, but even if your submitted proposals are both successful, you will not be able to participate in both, right? Also, if you submit to both a proposal to both programs, if you apply as a consortium and both proposals are successful, it means that you will have to select between CLAs and TAs. And it means that if you, for example, select CLA, community-led actions, the consortium for transition agendas falls apart because you will need to leave the consortium. So this proposal for TAs is jeopardized for other partners. So we cannot tell you, no, you definitely cannot submit to proposals, but we can tell you it doesn't make much sense. And we can tell you that we suggest that from the very beginning, you focus on which program you'd like to participate in and you apply to this program in this open call, right?
Nice. Perfect. I hope this is clear. Otherwise, let us know in the chat. In the meantime, we got two other questions. So from M. Thurm, for CLAs, is a regional community of multiple partners within one country considered equally eligible compared with an international cooperation?
Yes. Yes. If you, because it all comes down to the rationale you have for how you build your consortium. If you apply as a consortium of stakeholders who have a common interest within one geographic area, one region, one country, and it is justified, it is perfectly fine. If you apply as a group of stakeholders from different countries, but who have one topical interest, this is also fine. But in your full proposal, like throughout the information you include in your full proposal, the evaluators will need to see the justification for how you build your consortium and why you decided to build it a certain way. But there is absolutely no preference of one over the other.
Perfect. We also got a question. We got two questions from Elvira, but I think that one is already answered by Franny in the chat. The second one is regarding conflict of interests. If you have collaborated in the past with one of the BANOS partners, but they are not involved in your current project idea, I assume that this is not a conflict of interest?
Okay, it would be hard for us to answer without getting into more details because the question is always about what cooperation was that, how many years have passed, and so on and so forth. So what I can recommend right now is to look at the description of conflict of interest we have included in the frequently asked questions. I think we have there like a detailed explanation of the conflict of interest. If you can share any specific information with us, please send us an email to the help desk email address, and we'll try to look into it. One more information, like a detailed investigation of the conflict of interest will happen only after we close the open calls. But if you have a specific question, you can send it to us to help desk.
Nice. So yes, I will. We will post I will quickly post the email address of the BlueActionBANOS help desk. We also have another question from Casper. How many projects are selected for both programs?
For transition agendas, we are aiming to select in this open call about 10 projects, and as you can see throughout the open call documentation, as you will see, this is the first transition agenda open call, which means that we'll have the second transition agenda open call probably launch somewhere around November 2026. Around, okay? So for the first transition agendas open call, we are aiming to select 10. For the second transition agendas open call, we are also aiming to select about 10 projects. Sorry. As for community-led actions, it depends on how the projects, the submitted proposals, the successful ones, on how they build their budget. Because for this open call, community-led actions, the only open call for community-led actions, we have in total 7 million available, and we need to divide it into the best quality proposals. So the number of the proposals we will fund will depend on the grants requested by those most successful projects. We estimate that it will be between 5 and 12 projects.
Nice. Perfect. I also hope that this answer. So far, we have no other questions. Well, we only had one other one, but Franny addressed it. But I don't know, maybe Maria, if you also, I can read it out loud and you can also give a more elaborate answer. So thank you for your presentation. Is there a maximum amount of project ideas that can apply? I mean, is it certain that we can apply until the current deadline in March, or is it possible that the deadline is earlier if you reach a certain amount of applications? Franny said, of course, that this is not the case, that the deadline will not change. Is that right? Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So we have no limit for project idea forms. Yeah, and we are not going to change this deadline. Yes.
Nice. Yeah, so send them in, especially if you want to be eligible for, as mentioned, for like a full application. We don't have any other questions so far. Yeah, so.
All right. So just just one reminder. So key requirements for the proposals for applicants. You already know that, but I also said that we cannot stress it enough. So once again, if you don't submit a project idea form, there will be no consultation and no access to full proposal form, no evaluation, and no, let's say, possibility to be even considered for funding. So this deadline of 16th of March is quite crucial at this stage. If you submit the project idea form, we'll reach out to you to schedule a consultation. So also please be mindful of what's coming into your email box. And after the consultation, we'll share with you the link to the full proposal form. And well, basically, the sooner you've performed this first step, the more time you'll have for working on the full proposal. And the full proposal is not short, right? It's a long form where we ask for detailed information, and it will require a certain amount of time and effort to put it together. Also, when you complete the full proposal, you can submit it earlier and then edit it, right? What we don't recommend ever is submitting the full proposal like 2 minutes before the deadline, because things may happen. So whenever you complete it, you can submit it and edit it until the deadline of the 29th of March. For now, we are focusing on project idea forms and the deadline of 16th of March, right? Yeah, and also Sylvia, maybe you can say a few more words about our community on Blue Biomatch, right?
Yes. So because we know that in a lot of cases you might have some ideas, but you might not have the right partner to implement it, especially if you're looking to work on more international projects or proposals. So that's why we created a group on the Blue Biomatch platform, which some of you might already be familiar with, where you can post and look for stakeholders. Right now we have over 70 users there, and we also have a lot of users that already posted that maybe they're a startup and they have a specific technology and they are open perhaps to test implementation in a specific region of the Banos basin. So this is a great place where to go and to maybe look for potential project partners, as well as to stay up to date with all of the webinars that we are running. So this is our 3rd edition. There you will also find links to all of the previous ones, as well as the links to the national webinars, which are also going on at the moment and have taken place over the last weeks. So you can scan the QR code, or we're also going to be posting the link in a chat shortly if you cannot access it. And I think that we actually have, no, I was checking again if we had any other questions, but I think that also my colleague Franny actually conveniently included all of the links there, both to the email account for the help desk account. This one is a great resource if you have a more complex answer that maybe requires also like a more complex question that requires a more complex answer. And as well as future events and our BlueActionBANOS community on Blue Biomatch.
Okay, thank you very much, Sylvia, for this explanation. And thank you all participants for joining today. We'll shortly post the video on our website and YouTube channel, so you'll have it available. Also, yes, we encourage you to check on our website what webinars are upcoming. We have one inspirational webinar, I think, coming pretty soon.
Yes, so the 18th of February at the same time as today. Yes.
Yes, and these are webinars where we want to give you inspiration for what a community-led action project may look like, or what a transition agenda project may look like. So we highly recommend those to you as well. So thank you very much for your presence today, and wishing a very good afternoon to everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.